This was a funny moment on Frank Warren's YouTube channel when John Fury, who was part of the punditry team there, was stood next to Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte mugged John Fury off. Obviously, there's no love lost there. John Fury said some things about Dillian Whyte. He said some things about Dean. And Dillian Whyte said some things about John too. And when the interviewer asked Dillian to talk about John, who was stood next to him, Dillian was like, who? Oh, John Fury. I thought he was Steve Bunce. And you could see that John was not best pleased. He wasn't amused. But Dillian kept staring John down. If you watch that interview, he keeps looking at John in the eyes as if to say, okay, if you want it, here I am. I mean, obviously, he's not fighting John Fury. He didn't have that same kind of energy for Tyson. He seems to be friendly with Tyson. But again, Tyson hasn't said anything since they've been in close proximity to each other. He hasn't said anything disrespectful towards Dillian. He was very respectful at the press conference. So I guess Dillian Whyte is just keeping that going. But John Fury has said some questionable things and done some questionable things. So Dillian Whyte kind of stuck it on him a little bit when they were face to face there. So I thought it was quite funny, him trying to mug John Fury off. So I thought he was Steve Bunce, constantly staring at him. And John Fury, for the most part, didn't meet Dillian Whyte's gaze. He kind of just looked away and, didn't want to engage in a staring match with Dillian Whyte. Although he did kind of engage in more of a staring match with Dean, who also was engaged into a little verbal altercation with John Fury. And they kind of cleared it up a little. They were at the media event at the weigh-in, and they did some little weird kind of shadow boxing thing where they first saw each other. And then when they came together for that joint interview, there was still a bit of tension there. People thought they'd completely squashed it all. Maybe they have squashed it all, but I can still sense tension there. And Dean wasn't happy with the stuff that John Fury actually said to him face to face with regards to Dean pushing the security out the way. And Dean explained that that's not what happened at all. John Fury was, in his words, using a bit of Brixton chat, or whatever he called it, a bit of Brixton slang, which weren't Brixton slang at all, but I guess that's what John Fury imagines Brixton slang to be. Dean said that John Fury crossed the line at one point, and Dean tried to sort this out and sort that out. So there was still a bit of tension there between Dean and Baby Ting and John Fury. John Fury's staring at Dean a little bit. That kind of stuff. I mean, realistically, if it's a one-on-one, all the fanfare and all the other people aside, is John Fury really going to fight Baby Ting? Come on. I know he's a big fighting man and all that, but he wouldn't get out for Mickey Theo. Is he really going to fight Baby Ting? I think John Fury is a fighting man. He is a tough guy, but I think he knows his limitations more so than he lets on. Let's just put it that way. And when I say his limitations, I mean in actual fighting, because he can act like he wants to fight somebody. He can do all the bluster and say this, that, and the other. But if they arrange the bare knuckle between John Fury and Baby Ting, do you think John Fury would follow through with it? I don't think he'd follow through with it, personally myself. But anyway, it's all by the by. It's all fun and games. I like the build up to this fight. I think it's been really interesting. It's been a refreshing change, just so refreshing from the sterile corporate garbage that gets pumped out by Sky and DAZN. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm out. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high quality MP3. We've also got an Element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, is decentralized, and is 100% censorship free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment, You can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.